Definitely an awkward angle to clear with Stown just holding connector. I don't think they'll be ready for this. Tizian goes down early, and Stown looks for more, but tabseN trades at long range.
Yeah, and in behind Katie, and finally striking with his initial push into the underpass. He has found Keto, refresh, landing shots for the Danes here as well. And it does put CSGO and tabseN in a very difficult situation. And 2v4 to try and pull this round back. And that bomb nowhere near them, nowhere near their possession. And tabseN walking through jungle, right through the murder hole. And Shush will find his head. CSGO now left alone in this 1v4 that is just unwinnable at this point.
Especially with the bomb drop down on the site, there's no way in for him.
The swing out mid from Big. It's going to be Stown, who takes a swing for the bottom of connector. Keto, his head taken off at the start of this one, and CSGO landing deagle shots as well. Good start here for Big.
Smoke has to be plopped down defensively. Xantares almost caught off guard, but he gets away with his life. Shush gets back through the smoke, and Tizian very low on health, but TeSeS also has to retreat.
Yeah, at least they're getting these kills back finally. Refresh has started that for Heroic. tabseN's been taken out. Tizian just about ducking below the crosshair of Refresh. And now they're going to try and walk into the B site, but Refresh has spotted Tizian, and it's a cleanup for Heroic.
The early nades. They still have full utility on both these players. The flash is good, but Cadian's better. He gets the kill while blind. Another early advantage for Heroic.
Yeah, good timing on taking the shot there for Cadian. Now they've got full B control. Heroic have even got ramp as Refresh pushes through. He's got Shushin behind him. Two new players here for Heroic, finding control, but Xantares fighting it back. He starts to move forward, and Shush is around the corner. The headshot in, and the bomb caught. This is not going to be easy, but the flash in from Keto, they need to explode with 20 seconds. They need to take the fight. Shush, while blinded, gets one, but CSGO replies quickly. Keto still locking down the site control, but there's only 15 seconds left, and Stown, he's come through. It's the two ops that remain in play, and with 10 seconds, CSGO looks at the round loss. It gets shut down just before the timer runs out, so CSGO goes into the next round with money.
Don't need reinforcements on the B bomb site. They may need some help on A.
Yeah, Shush is over here right now. Good headshot on Xantares. I'll try and find a couple more of these pistols as they start to come through. Stown has arrived as help, as resources, and Cadian taking easy pickings into this round. And it is just Tizian left alone. And with his P250, he shall try, but Heroic shouldn't be losing too much more here. Shush will got the ladder. They haven't lost a single player, and they keep it that way.
Early into connector, but this time Refresh is pushing through B. They're just consistently gaining this ground. Tizian comes back, but it's another 1v1 fight that goes the way of Heroic, and Big are hitting desperation mode.
Yeah, and Cadian's over here with the AWP, holding down short. TeSeS has come in with a headshot elsewhere. Going over that way, bits out the AWP shot, and now trying to limit some of these fights, trying to put himself in a favorable position. Nice quick shot down onto Refresh. He needs another one if possible. He's been burnt forward, damage done, forces him into the site, and TeSeS in with a headshot. It is going to be Heroic coming in. Refresh playing in underneath the wood in front of those smokes. He's got a lot of his teammates over here to support, and Refresh might not even need the support. He's got one on Tizian. He's going in for the second, but Keto and Xantares, they've traded out effectively. They've got the man advantage here for Big.
A couple of smokes should help them get that bomb down more easily, but they need that bomb down quickly here, Dinko. They've just used up all their utility, and now the smokes are fading. That bomb plant is not going to be as easy for Big to find.
Yeah, and with that Molotov in, that's going to force Keto into the open. tabseN now becomes the player that needs to stand tall. He's been able to find one, looking for the second pick onto the AWP. Stown, who's playing his position perfectly, not giving him an inch to play with. CSGO, he's been pulled into action, but he's not been able to land a shot. And TeSeS is trying to peer over the top of Ticket, finally torn out with a headshot of Xantares. And Stown baiting out the shot of CSGO. Xantares still alive, doing damage onto Stown. He'll creep through the smoke. As CSGO is repositioned up to Palace, that position should be too strong. And Xantares, Keto's got a smoke up on the right side. He spotted the barrel there of Refresh. He's got that information. And he's just waiting for Tizian. Taps in towards short. He finally gets his kill. And now Refresh knows he's got to deal with two angles. He gets the first out onto Keto, but can he deal with Tizian? Over the top, Tizian with the headshot. And that's now Big into the B site.
They're going to get that bomb down, but Shush has rotated over quite quickly. No kits currently in play for Heroic. No real nades to speak of either, but they know that Big are likely trapped on this site. Shush is looking for the early angle, but it's down on the big flank that could be unexpected.
Yeah, Xantares wasn't looking this way, but now turns his attentions over. But Tizian, he's looking the wrong way, and Xantares couldn't back him up. And now Xantares left in the clutch, hits the first headshot. Now looking for the second. Xantares, can he get it done? He can! A big round for Xantares.
And we get to see why. 2 quick headshots for him. He loves to use his aim, his snappy headshotting ability to win those clutch rounds for his team. Able to isolate that first one, drops that flash, and as soon as he sees the shadow, Xantares isn't just going to try and play the time, he's going to go ahead and take that fight. And there are players in underpass ready to flank.
Yeah, this is very good right now for Heroic on the defense. Tessus has hit the first kill. Refresh is still in here as well. Stown has been spotted, but it's a spanner into the works for Big. They know they have to try and deal with an attack on both fronts, and the bomb is dropped. That just throws extra issues into the mix here for Big, and Kadian and Tessus just finding kills. It's Tabson, the last victim.
Catch teams off guard, but just with the way Heroic are playing, this is one of the rounds where they have that slightly different setup, where they have players pushed into underpass and the ability to quickly rotate a second player over to B. They're going to try and get some information, and Kadian's doing that here, but the run boost gets him across safely. Kadian almost gets the kill, but Tizian is the man who finds it.
I like that from Big. It's a little variation. They're completely ready for the play, as you were saying, Alex. You've got to expect some of those aggressive plays from Heroic. They've been throwing at them the whole half, so a nice little run boost to try and create a little bit of a mix. They do get one pick over at least the shot landed, but it's Tizian that swings out for the headshot. Now Stown walking up into Palace. He's not looked the right way. Keto's got the perfect timing, and all falls onto Shush. Can he hold on to the attack? So many players coming this way, and it only takes one. Xantares hits the headshot. The force field smokes up. In Save Simulator, it is Refresh and Kadian still hanging on to their weapons. Big this time not losing too many players, so it's a chance to build up their economy as they keep 5 alive.
Into jungle. This is a very powerful position.
It is, but there's a play coming through apartments from Tessus. He's getting aggressive, and he's been found by Tizian, and that's more of a problem for the B defense now. You don't just have Tabson on this flank, but you've also got to deal with the fact that there's only one player left, and it's Stown with lots of players coming his way. He has to focus on 2 angles. Tabson holds the flank. He's not even going to get reinforcements over here, so Stown has to do it all himself, and he's done it so far. A good double, and it's now all once again on the shoulders of Xantares, the only player really delivering on the scoreboard, and he has been spotted. Stown holds on with a 4K.
Hyped up as one of the Danish talents that people thought was going to be really, really good in the future. And I don't know if he's hit the heights that people expected, but when he's on point, you can see he is still a very good stuff
for Heroic to deal with this big play. They're coming in heavy to the B site, hot and heavy, and a first kill for Searson.
As that aggressive AWPing we talk about, it opens up a lot of Big's opportunities, but Kadian has arrived on the rotate.
Kadian still helping his short. He's got one onto Xantares. He will be looking for follow-up kills, but Refresh it in the double. Tizian is snuck through. But Kadian, he's not ready for it. Tizian on the drive-by, the headshot connects, and Tizian's looking for even more. Stown in here with Shush in the market area. Tizian gets out of that position just at the right time, and now they've got to try and figure out where he is. Tizian's looking for more. He's not happy just with the 2 kills. He wants 3, but he's denied. Shush in, Tabson out there with a kill at short. It suddenly turns into a 1v1. Looking for the final player, and Shush has got out. Sneaky Beaky, just like his name. It's a kill for Heroic, up 10 rounds.
Big with only a single premium rifle, and ouch. Searson with that one, AK's already down low.
Oh, Tizian just diving out with a MAC-10, and hasn't really worked out for him. Not enough pressure created that to really make the Heroic players sweat. It's Keto, Xantares, and Searson left alone. And they're diving down. Searson at the bottom of the stairway. Xantares, he was there if needed, but it's Searson just catching Kadian, diving through the smoke. So suddenly, back into that 3v3 scenario, and the bomb does go down, but all the picks from Heroic up. If Heroic focus down in on the CT spot, it could be a nasty surprise for Keto. He hasn't landed any shots, and finally he gets the headshot. He's been tagged down to 20, a lot of damage being done, but no kill yet for Heroic. It could all change with this jungle push from Shush, but no, the answer is just no. Refresh, the only player drawing blood for the Danes, and finally stepping up with a following kill, but it's Big that are coming out on top of these fights, currently in the 3v2. Bomb down though for Heroic, and they're currently sending one player up back to Palace to try and play for the post plant, and that is just Kadian. They can get on the defuse. Keto is going to be sticking it, holding it down, and Kadian The timer on his plays, he gets out of Palace. Can he find the pick in time? He's got to peek out this bodyguard cover, and he cannot get the denial of the plant, but he does, in fact, find himself 3 kills. A play. Currently 2 players in defense for Big, and they're both in towards CT. That molly from Stam going over the top might make things a little difficult, but that certainly will make things much more difficult. Shush's Deagle headshot. Zantara's on the FAMAS just in front of the CT spawn. Be able to pull Testis out of it. Stown goes down as well. And the FAMAS is doing a lot here for Big. It's giving them the advantage. Now Shush and Kadian have to pull themselves out of this hole. 40 seconds to try and get that bomb planted. It's Tabson running forward to put pressure on them. And Kadian now, he's left alone in the clutch. He's got a double kill. And Tizian is left alone. Kadian looking for a 4K. He's going to commit to the plant, and that might just be his demise. As Tizian comes around the corner, he's picked up the kill.
Tizian needs to be careful. There are 3 AKs coming his way.
Yeah, AKs versus MP9. It's a simple equation, really. But Xantaras, he's the unshielded, and while the MP9, maybe not such a simple equation at all. Xantaras gets involved, and now it's just refresh. The force bite does not work out for Heroic.
We'll see for Big. Plenty of eyes focused on mid right now.
Well, the smoke fades away. Tabson nearly got a surprise kill in middle, but it's down. He's pushed up the chair, and Tizian has no idea. He's not going to be checking that at all. And that calls for the play into the B site. And the way Big have been playing this is very short-centric, right? They haven't been playing a player inside of the site. So once they know there's a distraction in middle, Heroic just pounce on the B site.
This AK. Couple of players close by. Flash comes in. Xantaras now knows they're coming, and he can only get the 1 headshot. Overtakes his teammates at the top of the board. Heroic straight away win their first T-gun round.
Yeah, no mercy for Xantaras. They don't even let him walk away with anything there, Hawker. Again, just that mid presence really drawing the 2 B players that were playing towards short away. That opens up a distraction. A Heroic have an opening. That was fun to watch, that for sure. But now it's the MAC-10s. A little bit more of a viable weapon for this kind of stance. And while Testis gets caught early, Xantaras, he's doing a pretty decent job at holding this quick play from Heroic. In fact, he's doing a flawless job as Tizian steps up as well. Is just Shush left alone, and he is picked out as well. 9 rounds for Big.
Another obvious upside there for Heroic is, even though the MAC-10 rush clearly didn't go according to plan, it keeps them with a bit of extra money in the bank. You're almost choosing to take a bonus round.
1 or 2 kills, just he has to get something out of this. He can't go down without a fight, and Refresh is going to take him out without a single kill. The smoke's not even in yet right now, and Heroic are popping before them, and they're getting the kills. Xantaras dropped down of the round as well, but Tabson coming back in, cannot find anything, and Heroic's B site take is perfect.
The difference this time is Big used both their mollies early. Last round, like a practice run to see how Big react to the fast B play, and then maybe they realize Big are dumping all these nades early. If we just go a little bit slower, we're going to be able to pop straight into that B site.
You certainly get the info from the previous play, right? You certainly get
Definitely
all of that information. So even if it wasn't intentional at the start,
this team, incredible. They're already doing a great job. He's starting to play great too, and here comes the fast play. Kadian flash assist. Tessis just running in.
Yeah, Tessis running up. But Keto is currently watching short, and he will get the kill onto Tessis. His teammate needs to hold, and Tizian on the double kill. He wants a little bit more as Kadian is now the last remaining player. This time, Big have walked away with a very good round. Kadian's got to hang around for a little bit, and with a minute left, very valuable weapon in play. So good flash over from the side itself. Searson
brings some mind games into play though, right? Like think of the last 3 rounds. They've just all been fast B plays, basically. So from Big's perspective, gotta keep that in mind.
Shout out to Unknown FME for this, right? He's been doing a lot of round 25. A large demographic do hit me just right now. And Kadian is gonna push down middle. It's Searson who's been plucked down of the round very early on indeed, but it's a quick play out. Palace coming through and Refresh. He's dropped down by Keto, and now the play from Heroic into the A site might just be foiled by Tabson on top stairs, but the headshot again from Shush. It has to be Tizian, and he was a big man on the hole for the B side, but this time he's over at A. It doesn't really matter if Tessis is taking down the rest of his teammates, though. He's ripped a hole in the defense of Big. And it's map point for Heroic. He will spot that they haven't fully committed into middle there. He gets a little bit more information to play with, but once again, it is Tizian who will be tested. This time only with a decal, and it's a headshot immediately for Refresh. Follow-up in for Shush. This is looking like a done deal. Even the flank does not work out for Big. It's just Keto and Xantaras, and it's a clean performance here for Heroic.
It's a team performance too, even in this final round. 3 headshots from 3 separate players get them onto the B-bomb site. And Keto desperately looking for a way in, but Heroic aren't giving it to him. TeSeS lands the shot, and Shush closes it out 16-10.
A team performance from Heroic once again. They get the win on Big's map pick. We'll be back after.
Running through Yard 2. Might be a split onto this A site.
Well, Keto knows players have crossed over to Hell, but he can't do anything about it. So Searson now in a difficult position. Tizian getting one on the dual Berettas, but it's Keto that is the main fragger here for Big. Bomb will come over into the lower site. Gideon locking that bomb plant in, at least confirming the second round force buy. And
if let that happen, they let the players get onto the B site. They won enough of these early kills to put themselves in a good position. Even when they're dropping down the vents, they're able to use all their players together to get those.
Well, Keto's going to try and stop them from going down without damage, and he's doing his best, but he hasn't been able to get a kill just yet. Eventually gets a chance, but it's Down that's won it out, and Tabson's made the quick rotation down into the B site. He's separated. Xantara is severed off from his teammate with that Molotov, and Heroic so far so good, but Searson sneaking in. Just pulled the dual Berettas out. All plant secured again here for Heroic. The headshot at long range with the Julies for Searson. He's going to try and get in close, and behind him it's another kill for Searson on the dual Berettas. And Gideon's not buying this. He doesn't believe he's on the bomb, but now he might think it's going for him. He runs forward, doesn't get the kill, but Searson's off the bomb, and that's all that matters right now for Heroic. Running that clock down, and Gideon's still getting
this tournament. Like, my two teams that are looking the best, I think, are probably Heroic and Gambit. Like, just based on the performances and the way they've got their wins, they look like the best teams here right now.
Definitely positive signs for the two teams that have been dominating across each and every top-level tournament. Looks to continue into DreamHack Masters. Well, now the USP, the MAC-10, and the Deagle start to gather up to see what they can find, and they have found a couple of kills onto Heroic. Refresh getting involved with the Galil. This time is ticking as Xantara looks to hang around. This time does not need to save the MAC-10. The worrying part about Navi is every time you put your faith in them and you get hyped about them, they just change it up, right? They just break your little heart, Hawker, and hopefully they can stick together with that performance. And I don't know if it's going to be exactly a difficult task, to say to the least, but Keto is repositioned up top hut. There's a second player down there, and Xantara and Keto both get kills on the Deagles, and now AKs to play with for Big.
Those Deagle body shots are deadly up close. That's what allows Big those close range fights with the pistols.
And Shush is out into the site. Keto has got the information thanks to Searson. He's passed that on, and he's got close into hut. Now he's creeping up on the bomb plant, so Shush might just go down here, denying the plant. Oh, it just comes in last second on the plant, but Big still went out the round. Tizian will be elevated. Tabson in below him. This will be difficult to flush out, but Tess says he's done a good job taking Tizian out, and Tabson's only been able to get one. So that does open up the B play here for Heroic, and Searson has flashed off his angle.
It looked like Big were ready, but they didn't get the setup as quickly as they would have wanted. And now Refresh could be in enemy lines, but he was spotted. Searson spotted him from Yard, so Xantara looks up the vent, waits for any potential flank. Refresh is playing it so patiently, though.
Yeah, even though they know Refresh is up there, he's not going to get these flanking kills easily, but it is taking two players out of the retake attempt. He's just keeping them up here, focused on his spot, and all of the kills come in here for Heroic. Closer, and has exited Secret comfortably. Now towards back garage, gets the right read on the position of Refresh, but Stown is close by. Xantara's keeping the weapon due to the economic situation of Heroic. They don't want to lose any more weapons. They'll try and face in, they'll spam, but they'll not risk too much. Teams, two kits in play for Big, so keep note of their positions, and it's a quick play out here from Heroic. The flashes are perfect from TeSeS. That allows an opening in for Refresh, but Xantara's makes it short-lived, and now it's the real play. It's the outside play from Heroic.
Tizian's already gone down, though. He's not playing ramp this time. He's ahead of the game.
Yeah, he's coming up quickly into Secret. He's got a good position, but he's checked. Stown is so ready for that. And that's the kill onto Tizian, the headshot, but Tabson, he's trying to be sneaky, knowing he has to step up, knowing that his team are down too many members, and a play needs to be made, and it's Tabson stepping into that, leading with an example, but he's whiffed his spray, he's whiffed his lines, he's got the kill, but only one. But it's safe in behind Silo. And Searson hasn't been able to find it, but the info's gathered from TeSeS, but the shot is good from Searson. It still comes through. And now Gideon, coming out of the control room, has to clutch it out. The shot is landed. The HE is not going to reach his position, is not going to reach its intended mark. And Gideon's under so much pressure. The headshot from Xantara's. He's forced further back into the site. Gonna have to smoke off all of these mollies. They're trying to make an inferno on the site here, Heroic, but it's not really worked out for them. Xantares has just picked off Stown, who was severed from the rest of his teammates. Now Keto is going to throw some aggression into the mix as well. Xantares hitting the shot through the doorway, but Gideon and Shush have found the kills back, and Tamsin over Heaven with the headshot. It's Gideon and Refresh into a 2v3. Heroic, once again, a man down.
It almost looked like those early nades from Heroic weren't followed up on quick enough. They end up just kind of giving away. They're going to push, and here comes Sis, and up from Secret. Catches Refresh in the back. It's Cadian in another clutch. We know how capable he can be in these situations.
He's going to start making his way forward around the corner as Tizian, but he's got a good angle here. One that Gideon, the possibility. They've got players down here now for big. Tizian is the player inside of the site. They will look to try and deal with the initial play-out decon. He's found one, but traded out pretty quickly. And Searson on the ramp at the right side, holding, just waiting for something. And finally, the rest of his teammates will arrive. Heroic have not gone onto the site. They have not been able to plant this bomb. And Big are in control, but they can't just go back up the vent. And that's a window of opportunity. The bomb did get up, but Cadian didn't follow.
Full health for Testes, but 4 players against him. Where's he going to play this post plant from? He's planted it a little open so he can go back towards door, try and fight. Unfortunately for him, though, but since those previous matchups between these two teams that have been close look set to repeat on this map.
Testes luckily gets away there with Cadian. Not so lucky on the follow-up. Through the smoke, the first victim found for Heroic and Tabson. This was the play he went down previously with this play trying to transition outside, and he's into garage. Will Refresh expect him here? He's walking closer, and again, his back turn taps him with a free kill. Tizian aggressing into ramp, this time working out for him, and he gets away.
He's going to stick around, though, because Keto's here to help. Tizian able to find yet another frag with the help of his teammate. Heroic don't want to go down to B, though. They're going to wrap up to this A site.
Oh, and Xantares is ready for it. Molotov down deep into the site. Xantares just holding for the cross at Heaven, and Tabson, oh, he gets caught outside. Cadian, good awareness to check that. And he brings down Tabson and turns it into the 2v2. Gideon's going for the fight at mid. He's going to lose the bomb. Shush now into the 1v2 clutch. He has been able to find his first victim, but look at that health. 3 HP, no bomb control. And Xantares knows this. He knows he can just watch the cross out. Finally, Shush will spot him, trying to use the Molotov, but Xantares knows he just needed to land one shot.
See if they can get off to something spicy here. Nade ready for Stown and a CZ for Cadian. That could be a pretty deadly 1-2 punch.
Especially when he's up on top of the hut here. Very difficult angle to flush out, and he's got one. Just rattles back, reloads his weapon, and they're pushing out here, but getting caught by every Heroic player. Tizian and Tabson just mauled to pieces. Heroic.
Smoke obscures the vision of Cadian, but Stown's found a way around it, looking up over the top. And eventually finding the headshot. Tizian sneaking in. I think they tried to break the windows at the same time there, but they're unable to sneak in. And now Big have to try and follow through.
2 players down. It looked okay at the start of the round, but Heroic just find a way. And Shush is holding the vent. Just waiting and biding his time as Testes is the player in the lowest side you've got to worry about if you're Big. And Xantares has found him, but he hasn't been able to take him out of the round. And now it's just Tabson. 1v5, they haven't been able to even get onto the site. Never mind come close to getting that bomb plant. A single kill for them, and Tabson will not change that. Heroic, they stay clean. With some stats there, Hawker. Searson showing up at the start of the round, Stown dropping back, but Tabson is ready. He spots the arm as well, and a clean little tap. Tabson gives him it. They're just waiting on Tabson to fully clear all of the spots. With the flash ready, the ball will come up Heaven, but Testes runs back into the site, but it's Tabson in with a kill, but they haven't checked for Shush. Once again, he is sneaky in below. They haven't cleared him. Oh, here we go, Shush. They haven't seen him. That's denial of the plant. Can he get another one? The XM is mowing them down. 2 kills for Shush, but Tizian and Xantares come in with the headshots
to blend in. Wow. Could have got way scarier if there were more Heroic players alive. Bit of extra money for Shush, though. Remember, you get $900 for every shotgun
to deal with 2 players in behind, and the flash is at the ready for Keto. He's going to flash deep. Tess is completely blinded. That should get rid of him, but they've whiffed their spray. They've whiffed their lines. Eventually gets the kill. Thompson stepping up for big as well, and Cadian finally with that ramp progression. He spotted an opening to try and pull the round back for his team. Bomb plant starting to come through, but Shush is sneaking by. He's in behind, and Thompson's dropped down. It suddenly all becomes Keto. He's got a Molotov for this, but there's still 3 players he's got to look for. The underhand molly goes in, the defuse being stuck. It's not reaching Shush just yet. It's not reaching him at all, and it's not going to touch him. Cadian with the kill, and Heroic, they off the hut. That's going to force Refresh just off the position he got up onto, but they've got a couple of players into the site. Can they do anything about it, though? Shush, he's only managed 1, and the whole defense of the A site has only managed 1 kill collectively, but it's down through the smoke connects. There's a player right in front of him, and it's Tizian right through the smoke. 1 on the P250, but Cadian quick to respawn. It's Tessus in lobby that might just get this fight against Keto, but it's Keto that comes out on top, and Cadian left alone. 1 versus 2 retake with the AWP. He goes to the decoy, but Big will secure 11 apiece. It's tied up at the utility usage more than their brawn, but they've got both in spades now, and the pressure outside coming in for the USPs. Luckily, Big holding it off. Not too many issues. An unsuspecting
I play
player.
for the team, Dinko. I don't play for stats.
Yeah, well, you know, Hawker, that's why you're at the bottom of the scoreboard every time. Well, Cadian finds himself an AK, and that's about it. He dies pretty... And Stown is in towards main alongside him to play together, and Tessus will pick up this initial information. He gets the double kill. Well, actually, just 1. Stown backed him up there. Keto brought out of the round by him, and now the reface outside again. It's teamwork between Tessus and Stown that's got this round locked in truly for Heroic, and it's just cleaned up. Not a single player drops for the Danes for his opportunity, and as the time ticks on, it's Tizian that's drawn first blood into this round for Big. Finally, Stown getting his chance, but he whips his lines. He hasn't been able to get it, and Thompson, he's got a follow-up headshot for Big. Heroic are starting to panic. They have to make the rotation, at least 1 down into the B site. But here come Big. They're going into A, and it's Shush close to the doorway. We've got to have a big step up from him. The flank from Tessus could definitely throw some issues that way. And Shush with a distraction gets 1. Refresh stepping up. And finally, it is brought back into a situation where Big are favored. And Refresh is going to walk into lobby. There's chaos right now on the server, and Refresh looks to thrive in it. 1v1 up against Thompson. Refresh looking for the clutch, and he has got it. Big plays coming in for Refresh.
And they start to climb those rungs back into the round. Shout out Littlefinger for that quote. Game of Thrones, great show until it wasn't. But Refresh, the snappy aim at the end here. This is that X factor we were talking about that he could bring to Heroic, and Hunden is loving it.
The return of Hunden after serving his ban, he is back with the Heroic side. And it's a fast play here from Xantares, and so clean under pressure. Cadian with the little tap. Thompson's he's going to come back with his pistol, but Searson's run right into the rifle, and Tessus is not going to miss those opportunities. He's going to deal with it well, just isolating these fights. It puts Tizian in a Tech 9 versus 4 round, and of course not looking too likely for much success out of Tizian. Heroic will be going up to 14 rounds. No bomb plant here for Big, and that is a little bit upsetting for them. They would like some extra money. And Tizian might be able to get some personal allowance if he gets a few more kills.
Tizian's sneaking up towards A. They've heard that ladder, and now they're trained on his position.
Yeah, now it becomes much more difficult, and Cadian closes it.
Ashes that looked like they were trying to set up Xantares for a fight, but Cadian's committed to this angle.
Yeah, once you miss that shot, there's a lot more pressure for Cadian, but luckily Stown is there to try and relieve some of it. Cadian gets out of that position. He gets further down the ramp, and that does keep him alive and gets him some information, a better position as well to deal with the incoming B attack if it is to come down the ramp.
Where are the big players coming from? They've thrown their nades. Now Cadian knows, and he's got the first kill. Tight angle on the second, but Searson's there for the trade, and the bomb will be planted.
Bomb down, but a man advantage for Heroic into the retake. Kits on every player, some utility available, and Tessa's coming back down the ramp side. Thompson's trying to get a better position at rafters, but now spams in front of the double door to change up his spot. It's Searson at decon, finding the pick onto Refresh. He's going to go forward to try and fight double door, and now it's looking a little rough now for Thompson. He's stuck in the open. He finally gets to the window, but Tessus comes in for the headshot. They get onto the
Heroic on this map. 16-12s, 16-14s. It looks like another one of those scenarios here, but they have got up to map point first. Big did a decent enough job at getting into a winnable position, but they were always down. Going to be easy to make the most of that.
Tizian, he's already out vent,
but smoke comes in.
Yeah, Tizian's already out vent. He's looking for that fight heaven, waiting for the player to peek out. Now Tizian getting closer, encroaching on the position. It's Gideon and Refresh that have found the kills, and it's Heroic that have found themselves a win. It's going to be a 2-0 locked in against Big. They show up, they perform, and Heroic are looking like a team to beat here. I'm looking forward to seeing that Danish derby. They have locked themselves in versus Astralis.